Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the University of Limerick here in Southwest Ireland, the venue for the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships. And we turn our action now to the Open Masters division, and it is semi-final time. We have Iznogood from Noisy-le-Sec, just outside the French capital, taking on Voltron 2020 from the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, USA. My name is Benjamin Rees, and it is a pleasure to be here with you live on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel. And it is an even greater pleasure to be joined on commentary by Etienne Fournier.
Thank you, Benji, for this amazing introduction once again. So Voltron 2020 being number one seeded in this Master Division. They are the USCU Master Defending Champion. That's why they were seeded number one of Pool A. On the other side, Iznogood from France, initially seeded 9th overall, 3rd of Pool A, will be the underdog for this, what's looking to be an amazing semi-final in the Master Open Division.
Yeah, these two sides have met before in this competition. We'll give you a little bit more information on that a bit later as you see a shot of us in the booth. And the pool from Iznogood goes down the other end of the field, and we are underway here. Karlinski picks up for Voltron. Nice gainer pass underneath to Castine on the far sideline. Bit of a bump on the mark there maybe. Instead going underneath to Harkness. Spreading it out wide here. Back in Castine's hands. Looks, breaks well. That gets it in the hands of Céad. A little pip pop, 1-2 into the end zone. Cool as you like for Voltron for a 1-0 lead.
What an amazing execution by the American offense. Just not allowing the stall to even set up, or even not going any higher than stall 2 or 3. So that's what we can expect from Voltron 2020, as we mentioned, USCU defending champion, seeded number one. So great movement. Amazing reset and just a pass and go. And a score goal by number 15, Nathan Castine.
Just dinking and dunking it, making a very good Izno side look fairly pedestrian on that. Izno with a little bit of a Cinderella run in the bracket with a hard-fought 10-9 Universe point win over Willie Mammoth of the USA in their round of 16 matchup, and then a 15-7 shellacking of Royal Stag, a side that I think was unbeaten in the tournament until that point and was a real upset. We streamed that game yesterday, so you can go back and watch it for free at your leisure on our YouTube channel, and they put up a hell of a performance. It wasn't just that Stag underperformed. Iznogood were right at it.
Iznogood had an amazing game yesterday against Royal Stag. Everything was falling together, so what a great upset by the French squad.
Yeah, we'll see a fair bit of crossover with the Iznogood side that'll be taking the field in the World Ultimate Club Championships in Cincinnati later this month. On the near sideline, Lescin looks for the underneath throw. It's a little bit low and sliding to make the catch. It dumps out of the hands of Calmel. Early break opportunity here for Voltron. And Mario O'Brien, with a wealth of experience behind him, picks up the disc. Rips it into the center of the field, into a dangerous space, and Calmel makes amends by knocking it away. Error there from Mario O'Brien. A rarity indeed. Tessier with a high release backhand down the sideline, and maybe it's the pressure of this Voltron defense, but you can tell that they are struggling with the intensity out there. Izno, but that bid nearly gets it back, and Lorino bid for it, and the Voltron player ended up kind of landing over him.
No arms, fortunately, in that great bid by number 9. Christophe Lorino.
Sounds so much better when you say it than when I do. That's not fair. Garrett, underneath to O'Brien. Wants to break it into the center of the field, get it off that trap sideline. Beautiful inside break. Finds Rupp in plenty of space. Now who's Koss has got an arm on him if he wants to put it, and trying to make that up line cut. Clatters into Tessier, who accepts the uncontested foul.
The Americans being in a great position right now to score the first break point of this game.
Garrett, who's played not just in Seattle with Sockeye, but also down south in Texas with double wide, and was a college champion at the University of Florida. He's got it in his hands now, trying to sit this break into space. Bid comes in a bit late, doesn't get there. O'Brien didn't look flustered by it at all. Resets back to Garrett. Dumps off to O'Brien, who wants these give-goes. O'Brien into the end zone for Koss. Break on the second point. Worrying start to this game for Iznogood as Voltron go up 2-0.
So once again, Voltron, once they are in possession, it is so hard to get the disc away from their hands. And we have seen a great disc movement by the handlers of the US squad. And also a great matchup defense by Iznogood O-line, which unfortunately for the French guys were not able to hold them off the end zone. So 2-0 Voltron 2020, taking an early lead in this semi-final Master Open Championship here in Limerick, Ireland.
Yeah, these two sides met each other in pool play. How did it go, Etienne?
Well, actually, Voltron took the victory by a score of 15-7, so quite a great performance by the American squad. But also, you have to keep in mind that that previous game is obviously history, and we have to also keep in mind that Iznogood has created kind of a two upset by beating back-to-back two Americans team, both in the quarters and the pre-quarter games.
Yeah, Iznogood had another loss in the pool stage, 8-13 to Magic Toast from Great Britain, but Magic Toast couldn't make it out of the quarterfinals, losing to Johnny Encore, who are next on this field in their semi against Boneyard, where, as we mentioned, Izno had that roaring upset of Royal Stag, and a monster of a pool will start Iznogood at the back of the end zone, and with the rain coming down as well, is that pathetic fallacy for the French side. Coming underneath, Koss thought about getting the bid, but he did not get there in time and pulled out. On the far side of the field now is no good. Oresca getting it central. Affilé back in his hands now. Planting, coming underneath. Lescan on that far sideline, working in a very narrow channel at the moment. Monet wants that high release, gets it around the back, and there's a pick downfield. I don't know if it affected that reset throw. That'll be the discussion. Depends when it was called, and it is going to go back into the hands here of Monet.
I might be wrong, but I haven't seen Frédéric Bredard so far on the court, and we're already in the third point. Bredard, number 13 for him, Iznogood, had an amazing impact in yesterday's victory against Royal Stag, putting out there a foot block, which kind of sealed the deal for Iznogood in their victory against Royal Stag.
So the rain begins to pound the Gaelic football fields once more here at the University of Limerick. Bid comes in and it's snatched away by Lorino. Lorino to the far side. This is going to be a pick. Looking again for that around to attack the break side. But Simon, known to many of course as Chicken, unable to catch up, trying to come through the stack.
Iznogood hunting down their first point of this game, already trailing 2-0.
Müller goes low to ground to make that catch. Wants to find a way to get this disc off. Oh, that cheeky Oyo, that blading throw through that inside channel, finds its way into the end zone as Müller finds Monet, painting a picture for the score, 2-1.
Pierre-Alexandre Monet taking a great anticipation cut in the break side in order to catch that disc just on the edge of the line, but inside the rewarding zone. So Iznogood making this game a 1-point game while we're seeing the review. So great. You see number 44 who will just attack the break side. Müller going down, floaty disc, but still.
I think he's probably trying to keep that a bit flatter, but actually having that slight edge doesn't hurt him necessarily. It just leads the receiver a bit more to the break side. If you overdo it, of course, it'll go out the side of the pitch. But all's fair on that point there for Iznogood. Getting a firm foothold in this game is nice. The other semi-finals we've streamed on this pitch so far today have not necessarily been close. So the fact that Izno are able to get a point on the board early on here, definitely going to be a confidence booster for the French, and it is raining cats and dogs and all sorts of other animals.
We were wondering if Frédéric Bédard was would be active today. We just seen him throw the pull, so good news for the French squad.
Yeah, representing the Europeans in the Open semi-finals of the Masters division. Goes back to Céad. Céad finds the option underneath. Fakes the first, now goes towards the far sideline. In towards the centre wall, looks a little bit messy, but not a problem. Céad tries to power Voltron down the field. I'm going to try my utmost not to call them sockeye, and I expect to get that wrong at some point. Such is the crossover. Harkness. Harkness, a rising throw, well reeled in. Now wanting the break off, but not seeing it. Inside, outside, little offhand, backhand. Céad running with Karlinski. Special K's in the backfield. Bid came in late there, and on the back shoulder, Castine may be able to take advantage of it, can only dish it off. Now trying to get a player sitting in that lane. That is a bit of a hefty collision. And there's a stoppage away from the play, and I think they've just realised.
Vertical stack by Voltron, trying to be disciplined in the end zone in order to ensure their third point. So some discussions. There might have been a call, but I'm missing it. So still the leaders sharing some advices and some direction, both on defense and on offense.
So Castine into the end zone, punches it in quickly and efficiently. We saw that combo on the first point, and reversed here as Voltron make it 3-1.
Another offense hold by Voltron 2020, making sure that when they enter the red zone, they go off the field with an extra point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, their O-line hasn't turned it over yet on their first two possessions, and that's the kind of clinicity, I'm going to go with that you'd expect out of a top quality side like Voltron, as you mentioned, reigning USAU Open Masters champions.
So before yesterday's game between Iznogood and Royal Stack, I was chit-chatting with some Iznogood leadership, and they were saying, well, at this point of the tournament, we have nothing to lose. We intend to leave it all on the field every time. We don't worry who we play against. We just focus on our legs, on our skill set, and on our will to win the game.
Given some of the names they've brought down so far, what would they have to fear? Here we go. The booming spin pull comes out of the hands of Foster and lands deep in the end zone again. Another absolute howitzer. You feel like one of these is going to pay off sooner rather than later.
Zone defense by Voltron.
Throwing something different at Iznogood, seeing how well they handle it. Hammer over the top, that's a nice option. Although the rain is rattling out tents here, the wind is a lot calmer than it has been at other points this week. Floating that high release over the top, tracked well by Müller. Müller might go back to the overhead here. Instead, it'll pop toward the far side, just dishing it off. Going towards that far sideline. Now threading it through, no. Layup block by Simon. So the zone defense works, gets the short field turn, and then Simon with the double happiness as well for the Voltron break. Now 4-1 they lead.
So that's what you want to do when you're playing a zone defense. You want to force the opposition handlers to throw those difficult, those riskier throws. And we have seen it a couple of times. Iznogood handlers really having to make high floaty disc for the other handlers. And finally, great anticipation by number 27 from Voltron, just laying it out as we are seeing, we just saw on the replay. And after that, a quick transition in order to score their 4th point of the game, 2nd break point for the American squad.
So the bookends there for Simon, plus Reed Cost throwing the assist there, caught the goal for Voltron's first break. And Seattle sitting pretty right now.
If we make a comparison versus yesterday's game against Royal Stag, Iznogood were the one who put on the first break point of the game, putting Royal Stag out of their comfort zone. But now we're seeing Voltron seems to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, Adam Simon, a wealth of club experience. Been playing 25 years and lists among his various alma mater: Chain Lightning, Johnny Bravo, Ironside Revolver, Sockeye, BFG, Mixtape, Voltron and Johnny Encore. I mean, what can you do against that? Iznogood back on offense now. Trying to pick up a little bit of pace in this offense, so just they can keep the Voltron defenders on the back foot. Still count rising, getting off the reset. Trying to find a way to continue to the break side. Change the angle of attack into Leonard. Back to Tessier. Travel called, just dragging his foot a little bit there. You can see how the rain is sticking the players' jerseys to their sodden figures.
Great reenactment by number 99.
There it's Foster who has pinned Iznogood's offense deep on a number of occasions with the pull, and that one over the top, looking for Lorino, doesn't connect. Voltron with a chance to extend their lead if they can go the full length of the field. Last time they had to go a long way for a break, their first break of the game. They turned it over, but they did earn it back and then punch it in at the second time of asking. Mario O'Brien, he's taken the trackies off, getting serious now, running in the backfield. Trying to put this out to space, popping up a little, not a problem there for Foster. Foster, low release, squeaks that underneath the mark to Hagen. Hagen lands that on our tents. How many commentators does it take to dislodge a frisbee?
At least one.
Yeah, the answer is, fortunately, just one. So it'll be brought in a decent way up the sideline here by Müller. Maybe thinking about the up line, doesn't like it, but he's looking, he sees the option in the end zone and tries to laser it at him, but he gets the execution wrong. Can't locate him. Another turnover sent right back.
Unfortunate turnover here by Iznogood, and Voltron usually finds a way to punish those unforced errors.
In the previous games, Iznogood were nearly flawless, and when they were presented with those opportunities, they pounced. Not so much on that occasion. So Voltron looking for the break. Second possession of this point. Floated in central. Oh, may just about get away with that into the hands of Rupp. It was awkward, but it worked. Hagen running a little bit of give-go with Rupp in the backfield. And they play the gauntlet to midfield. Players operating all over the place. Gets it through the mark back to Hagen. Hagen might dish this off to Rupp. Now they're attacking the break side here with Bayliss. Bayliss looks downfield and sees a whole lot of nothing. Cheeky little slash cut from the front of the stack for O'Brien. Sets this one out into space. The Stork just pops into the end zone for Foster. And it's another Voltron break. 5-1 they lead now. They did not come here to smash spiders.
Indeed, they did not. And once again, every turnover by Iznogood is always extremely costly. Voltron putting a lot of pressure on Iznogood O-line. While we're seeing the review, how well they moved the disc on the break side. No hesitation, amazing body fake by Foster just to make his defender slow down, and after that attacking the end zone corner in order to grant his team their 5th point of the game, 3rd consecutive point, leading 5-1.
There was a moment earlier in that possession, had a handler with the disc, and the stack was pretty much motionless downfield, and all it took was that little shoulder cell to get O'Brien open on the break side, and then that continuation cut Izno to ribbons. So down 5-1 in a bit of a hole here. They take a timeout. We will do the same in the booth, and we'll be back with you on the other side. Welcome back to the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships live at the University of Limerick. We've got an open semi-final here. Voltron up 5-1 here on Iznogood, who were calling offside. So
we can never say how important it is to have a great pull throw in a game. When it goes the distance and with the hang times, it allows your defense to get into position even before the first pass is being performed, and you are forcing the O-line to earn this extra yardage. So we can never say how important it is.
You will see the game advisors in green. They can signal offsides, but that does not mean teams have to accept it. But on this occasion, Iznogood will take the opportunity to bring it in the brick mark. Koivu Nguyen goes low to Afile. Afile finds Wascan. Rain clears, sun comes through, but the result is the same for Iznogood, and they can't make a pass work.
Unfortunate incomplete pass by Rescan, granting Voltron another opportunity for what can potentially be a 3rd consecutive break point.
Sunny Sunny Limerick, they said, and they're sort of right.
Sort of.
I'm only willing to go that far. Still count rising here, having to swing it sideways to Simon. Simon says go downfield to Mario O'Brien. Voltron have it on the far sideline from our camera, and O'Brien throws it behind. Iznogood will get it back, much to the delight of their sideline, and I think probably a lot of the neutral fans in the venue here, always rooting for the underdog, it seems. Koivu Nguyen wants to jink and dive and squirrel his way free as the reset, but slips. Was there contact that caused it? Maybe just landing on the other player's cleat and lost his footing.
So excited to see Iznogood, who can potentially redeem themselves after this incomplete pass, which after that Mario O'Brien just miscued, which is pretty unusual for this international world-class player.
But given another opportunity, Iznogood again, unable to make it work. Swings right the way to Foster on this near side, and Foster uncorks it, celebrating on the sideline already some of the Voltron players, and why the hell not, because Simon with his 2nd goal of the game on the howitzer from Christian Foster. 6-1 to Voltron now. They are rocking and rolling.
Absolutely no hesitation from number 99 Foster, just wicked whipping of the flick, going downtown 80 yards with great hang time, with the receivers just jogging in the end zone all by himself. He got forgotten. Well, that was a difficult throw to do, and that's what they have completed. You see, just very deep into the end zone on the opposite side, number 27 catching that disc. Adam Simon providing his team their 6th point, ahead by 5.
Yeah, the fans watching and commenting in the YouTube live chat here on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel. We see you, we appreciate you, and yeah, popping off about that throw from Foster. The World Flying Disc Federation streaming these games for free all week, and you can watch them back on demand as well. 2 pitches for the majority of the week, so we can bring you as many games as possible as the World Flying Disc Federation, made up of 107 member associations which represent athletes in various disc sports in more than 103 countries, support and promote the global advancement of disc sports and, most importantly of all, the spirit of the game.
For those who like numbers, there was 115 teams attending this World Championship here in Limerick.
I do like numbers, that's good.
And there was 28 teams in the Master Open division, which is the 2nd largest division here in this tournament. The biggest division hosted 33 teams, and it was the Mixed Master division.
Yes, 6 divisions here this week. Masters, Open, Mixed and Women's, Grandmasters Open and Mixed, and Great Grandmasters Open as well.
A few other numbers, 23 countries were represented, 120 volunteers, countless layouts and passes, but still only one spirit of the game.
120 volunteers, as you mentioned, from 20 different countries worked hard to help make the World Masters Ultimate Club Championship here a success. So if you are here or you see them at any other tournaments, make sure to give them a big thank you for making this event a success and helping out the wonderful organising committee here at the University of Limerick. This one ripped deep, trying to open up the offense now is no good. Oh, why didn't they try that earlier? Because Müller's put to U is sumptuous. Great way to get back on the board for Iznogood and make it 6-2.
Mueller connecting to Kevin U, number 11. What a great strike Pat did Kevin U achieve there, and what an amazing pass by Mueller, just ripping that flick downtown end zone for 2nd point for the French squad. Is no good, still trailing by 4 points.
It is a beautiful throw. U has steps deep and it's put right on him. But part of the reason that works as well is because rather than get flustered on a higher stall on the mark, Nguyen does the sensible thing, pivots and takes that swing. It's being poached a little bit there, so defender comes in to close off that space, but is sitting right on that left hit and not really putting any pressure on that flick throw into space. Good fundamentals at play.
44 Mathieu Mueller is such an amazing hander, just very, very mobile, very active, granting, always offering great resets option to his teammate, and obviously a great distance handler.
Céad pops that one into the center of the field where he finds Castine. 3rd time we're seeing Voltron's O-line. They've still yet to turn it over. Karlinski wearing those trackies under his shorts. And there's a stoppage downfield. Looking for a hand signal or pick, possibly. Maël Maurice indicating where his matchup needs to be. That one floats. Oh, Maurice got crazy air, but the one thing he didn't get was the disc, and it stays in Voltron's possession. Oh, tipped on the mark, and despite the layout, doesn't get there. Give credit there to Etienne Michon, your namesake. getting the block.
Breda also took a bid on this one. Regardless who made the bid, Iznogood threatening with a break opportunity. First turnover by Voltron O-line.
Amadou wants to put it over the top. It's hanging. Céad's trying to close the door, but he can't get there. It's ripped out of the sky for the bookends by Etienne Michon to make it 6-3. Iznogood with the break.
Michon with the break point. Iznogood, reducing the gap to only 3, scoring their first break point of this game. It will grant them a lot of confidence and a ton of grit in order to potentially close that gap they are suffering from right now. So we see on the replay a floaty disc.
Maurice,
I
think he's optimistic with where he thinks he can get the disc from. But good adjustment there to get the mark on Michon. Gets the tip, couple of players lay out, goes to ground, and then I must admit, I was skeptical about this when Amadou put it up because it hung up there. Céad was not that far behind. Thought it might get a second defender coming in there as well. But that is sure to energize Iznogood and their vocal support on the sidelines here.
Céad just jumping slightly too early, but that's what you want to do on defense. You really want to be aggressive on the aerial bids. So great attempt by Céad, but still Michon hangs in there, landing down with the Iznogood third point of the game.
So Voltron, having been broken, try and pick themselves up and get back out here on offense. Going into the centre of the field to Carnegie. Carnegie to Castine. Looking, a low throw zipped. What a layout from Sefton. Back to Céad. Céad to the reset, squirreling cut. Wants the break. Maurice tries to make himself big, but the blade sits up to the break side in Céad's path. That'll quieten down Iznogood. 7-3.
Voltron 2020 say, this break point was an incident. It's not going to happen ever again. That's their intention, at least. Flawless execution once again by the American squad, just moving the disc around, just attacking the ins, and what a great bid by number 24, just securing that disc. Sefton, after that you see they went the other side of the field to score their 7th point of the game, 1 point shy of halftime.
It's the first time I've had the chance to watch Voltron all tournament, and so far they're living up to the much ballyhooed hype, I think.
There's a reason why they were seeded number 1 of this tournament, and so far they have displayed it very, very well.
So Christian Foster, who is known for being a monster of a puller, also studying a PhD at the University of Washington. The Sun Dodgers, I think, are the club there, although I'm pretty sure he's long gone past his college eligibility. We do not have college eligibility laws in the same way in the UK. As long as you're a student there, you can still play, so that would be a frightening prospect. That one is, I think, might land out the back, actually, so someone had their Weetabix this morning, or whatever the Seattle equivalent is.
They popped their vitamins, obviously.
Starbucks, maybe? I can't think of any other food that's famous in the Pacific Northwest.
That would be an extra large Starbucks, I would believe.
I will say that other oppressive coffee brands are available.
Impressive pull by Voltron.
Match defense this time from Voltron. Pick downfield. You see players making the hand signals, arms out wide, bent at right angles at the elbow, fists at the end. Leonard has the disc in discussion with Mario O'Brien, founder of Rise Up Ultimate. Was a valuable coaching tool for many. Here's Tessier. Tessier central to Monet. Monet wants the flick over towards that far sideline. Finds Lescan. Lescan looking with the stall count rising. Just about gets that out of his hands in time, or does he? Foster's not so sure. You can see he threw it like he was just trying to get away with it. Just like, ugh.
The stall was indeed very, very high, so that's what Foster is saying. There might have been a stall down there. That's what they'll be discussing, but it seems it will be contested.
So that'll come back in on stalling 8. And if you're going to scan, just get rid of it. Well, that's one way of doing it, but the hammer's going to helix. There's 3 Seattle defenders there, and making the catch as well is Rupp. That was hugely impressive. It's going to dish off to Hagen. Hagen underneath to Garrett. And Garrett rips it, looking for Koss in the back of the end zone. Koss with his 2nd goal of the game, and Voltron take half. And it's been a bit of a crushing half as well. 8-3 they lead Iznogood. They've just pounced on their European opponents.
Voltron started this half on offense, so they will start the second half on defense, but still they have a strong lead right now, 8-4, ending this first half with a break point, which was their 5th of this game so far. And we see the replay, quick disc movement, and then bombs it long in the end zone. Just floaty disc, and number 11, Koss. It seems to be all by himself, just waiting, has long way beaten his defender in order to grant his team the halftime. Voltron leading 8-3.
2nd goal of the game for Koss, along with an assist as well. But I think that comes from the throw from Garrett, because he's got the disc and there's no one in the same zip code as him. So he can really uncoil that spring from the torso, rifle it deep, and give Voltron the 8-3 half-time lead. The World Masters Ultimate Club Championships here in Limerick, live on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel. Open semi-final action. Voltron 2020 lead Iznogood 8-3 going into half. We're going to take a little bit of a break to stretch off, get some snacks and some liquid on board. Recommend you do the same. And the second half of this semi-final continues on the other side.
I'll race you now.
Welcome back to Sunny Sunny Limerick, the University of Limerick, the venue for the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships. You're rejoining this Open Masters semi-final with Voltron 2020 from Seattle, USA, taking on Iznogood of Noisy-le-Sec, France. Voltron up 8-3 at half, pulling to Iznogood. That's Benjamin Rees in the booth, alongside Etienne Fournier. Izno begin the second half on offense. Already able to get to midfield, and they're trying to energize themselves early in this second half with a big deep shot, and the big man tries to come over the back, but well read, well positioned by Sam Harkness defensively there for Voltron.
Both players really fought extremely hard to get that position in order to block that disc away from Voltron, or from Iznogood, I would say, point. So great battle by Voltron, great body positioning in order to get that D.
The Voltron defense is relentless. These two ties matched up in the pools, and Voltron won 15-7. It feels like they want an even larger scoreline today, but at the moment on this possession, just playing it in the backfield between Gerard and O'Brien. Still in their own end zone. Struggling to create a bit of separation downfield. That throw, I thought, was released a little bit late, but it finds Foster regardless, and we know what a cannon he can have when he decides to put it.
Foster's gone. Foster's gone.
Yeah, he can throw them. Can he reel them in as well? I thought he maybe overran it slightly, but brings it down well. Foster to the far sideline. Harkness goes to ground to make sure it sticks in the grasp, and a rather silenced Iznogood support on the far sideline as Voltron break to begin the second half and make it 9-3.
If you go on Wikipedia and you look up for attack the long, you can more likely see what Foster just did. He started even before midfield, just striking, going all out with all his jets all fired up, and just offered him as a great target for a long pass, well positioned, winning this aerial battle.
Yeah, it goes up nice and early. Defender does not really have a shot on it, that one affilé.
Great pivot foot in order to get himself some space to fill his teammate, granting his team their 9th point, 3rd point in a row by the American squad. They're now leading 9-3.
Voltron looking in imperious form. O'Brien engaged in some discussion on the sideline with Bestock. How long do you think those two have been playing combined?
That's a great question.
Over, under 50 years?
I'd say over.
Yeah, I'd probably have that as well. Bestock was actually one of the first players at the University of Western Washington. Played on the original team, which was the Western Hemispheres. They rebranded to Dirt, which is what many of you may know them as, back in 2001. So, yeah, that will show his age a little bit. Not that it looks that way on the field.
Zone defense by Voltron.
Again, just constantly throwing things different for Iznogood, trying to change them up, tax them mentally as well as physically. Iznogood at the moment just playing in their own end zone. Nguyen underneath to Bredar. Goes back to Nguyen, who's a key cog for the open age bracket Izno side as well. Hammers it over the top. Menendez goes to ground to make the catch. Gibet, they call him. Wants the high release off into the backfield. Doesn't see it at the first time. Just pops it towards that sideline. They're making a lot of passes, but they're not getting any field position. How long will this patience for Iznogood last? Cheeky one over the top. Just about reaches its target. Tempted a couple of Voltron defenders, but none of them could close it in time. All very congested in there now. Pops it down the far sideline again. There's not a huge amount of space for the Iznogood offense. They're just about holding possession here.
Sadly for Iznogood, they were able to put the disc over the cup, but they could not get the proper timing to get some momentum and put it out of reach of Voltron's cup defense.
Yeah, these downfield players trying to stay active, trying to stay engaged, but at the moment, Iznogood not finding a way to get it to them. That blade over the top might open a little bit of space. Fakes the through, instead they want to go around the back. Wadar has it on this sideline. And again, they're looking to go back and forth, Keep it moving quickly. Get this Seattle defense out of position. But Voltron, maybe like their namesakes, very organized, regimented, machine-like on defense. All the parts, the cogs, are clicking together in perfect synchronicity.
Mane is really trying to pass and run to create some space. It seems like the other Iznogood handler would have a great opportunity to do the same thing.
There's the opportunity to open it up with the hammer over the top from Nguyen. Nguyen to Bredar. Can it be read? Despite the bid from Foster, it gets on the money to Michon. His second goal of the game. 9-4.
Iznogood keeping the hold on this possession. They bended, but they did not break. Being challenged by Voltron zone defense. They were very, very patient, and I saw Bredar, when he had the disc, he didn't even look up. He just crashed the cup and just right afterward resetting. So great sneaky hammer cross field, and then Bredar just whips it back in to his receiver, Michon, who just body position and just caught it with style, I would say.
You can see what the plan is there. Michon and Bredar, they're trying to split Christian Foster, force him to make the decision. When he overcommits one way, Nguyen with the hammer to Bredar on the far sideline, gets him, and then he's a little bit out of position trying to get there, and he can't catch up to Michon, and Bredar has no hesitation in putting it deep. And you might see in the background everyone on the sideline clamoring to put their coats on, because the rain and the heavens have opened up once more. Faso Umbe Vogel pulls that one. I think he was looking for that big blade to arc back in bounds, but did not get that one right.
Weren't we having like a sun break like a minute ago?
There is a replacement disc, but I'm not sure they're going to need it. Going to bring it in from the sideline, I think. Céad's trying to middle the disc. You cannot do that in WFDF rules. And is quickly corrected. In USAU, you can take the disc from the center no matter where it went on the sideline. WFDF, you either brick it or it's from the sideline. Again, the special K's in the backfield, Céad and Karlinski. Karlinski faking the big backhand, a little bit of a towel you can see poking out the back of his shorts as they go all the way around to Marquette. Marquette wants the around, doesn't see it, squeaks that one through to Céad. He's already seeing Castine's cut develop. Wow, oh my word, it has got so wet here, and a really awkward catch made well by Karlinski to the break side. On the money for Speidel. That'll be 10-4.
Voltron O-line got broken only once, but it was obviously not this point. They just scored their 10th point, and still, once again, flawless execution, and it makes Iznogood has made their life easier with an early out-of-bound pull. Voltron just had to put the disc back into play while we're seeing the replay. but initially they just put the disc back into play on the sideline about midfield. So Voltron doesn't need those kind of gifts in order to score an offense hold. Voltron 10 Iznogood 4.
You can see it coming through on the cameras, captured heroically by our Ulti TV crew standing out here in the wind and rain. It is, yeah, not ideal ultimate playing conditions, I'd say, suboptimal. But both sides have to make the best of it. I think you kind of knew what you were getting yourself in for when you played a tournament in Ireland, although, having said that, certainly being in, you know, in the Pacific Northwest, you'd be no strangers to rain. Here we go, another devastating spin pull from Foster. He's pinned them deep a couple of times. This one blades towards the back corner. I couldn't see actually whether it landed in bounds or not. The fact that he's not bricking it leads me to believe it landed in bounds and then bounced out. And so Nguyen wants to bring it into the front of the end zone.
Tough position to put the disc back into play.
Yeah, you can see the direction of the rain, so that is properly coffin corner for Iznogood here. But they find a way to get it off into the centre. Affilé now finds Ruskin. Pick downfield will temporarily bring a halt to proceedings.
The wind is blowing, the rain is pouring. Tough condition for Iznogood if they hope to make a comeback, which was already quite challenging just from a scoreboard perspective, but considering those conditions, it will be even more challenging.
Yeah, it is ugly out there weather-wise. And unfortunately for Iznogood, their offense isn't looking too hot either.
Voltron, great position to score an 11 point in the semi-final Master Open Division.
O'Brien hustles in the backfield. Trying to be methodical about it. Simon, I think, thought about seeing if he could get that into the end zone. He can't, and went for the cheeky little pop to Koss on the sideline. That one, I think, guilty of avarice. A little bit too greedy with it.
Iznogood allowing some clean, open space. Cutting by number 27 from Voltron, Adam Simon. Unfortunately enough for Iznogood, they have an opportunity to redeem themselves on offense.
Low, spectacular layout on the sideline here from Calmel. Wants to put it deep. Nguyen has it. Nguyen looks infield, trying to find a continuation option. Goes backwards, around, towards the far sideline. Want the pop in, but it's not there. Tight, sticky coverage on the reset. There's a pick downfield as the swing goes to Nguyen. Every time this O-line has turned it, Seattle have scored. Not necessarily on that possession, but on that point.
Iznogood in a good position, still very disciplined near the end zone.
So can the blue shirts make a red zone stand? Not to be on this occasion. Tessier finds Calmel in the end zone for the score.
That must be a good feeling by Iznogood O-line, which they really struggle near the end zone in order to bring the disc upwind to score their 5th point, while we more likely see the replay of this last action. And I just love the way Iznogood is being very, very disciplined near the end zone. They really have a plan, and it was very well executed to grant themselves their 5th point of the game, still trailing by 5 in this second half.
Yeah, such is the quality of Ultimate and the stakes on display. I'm amazed that there are as many people staying to watch here as there are, because I cannot necessarily say if I'd be out here in person or actually running back to the accommodation to watch it on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel as you are all at home. Thank you very much for joining us here. It's an absolute pleasure to have you along with us. So, Izno getting ready to pull the Discraft Ultrastar, the world leader in disc sports Discraft. And you can see on the top of the disc as well that WFDF is partnered with WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, as well.
We are almost an hour into this game and still 15 points were scored, so great rhythm in this semi-final.
Céad through the driving downpour. Back to Karlinski. Karlinski wants the reset. Marquette clears up line and Cricket gets it. Central to Castine. Castine back to Karlinski. Sefton on the end zone line. Pops it in to Castine for the score. 11-5. This Voltron offense is humming on all cylinders.
This last possession lasted less than 60 seconds, and considering the wind that's blowing and the rain that's pouring, that is an amazing achievement by the Voltron offense squad. You see the last sequence really putting the disc in the middle, creating some space, not allowing the mark to set. Great fake and great continuation. Small gain by the American squad being very, very effective. They are now leading by 6.
This is biblical level rain. I don't know which deity we double crossed to deserve this. Sunny Sunny Limerick, it says in the description.
It's pretty much representative of the kind of weather we had to deal with earlier this week, especially on Monday and Tuesday. We kind of had a break for the last 2 days, but it seems that we'll have some payback from Mother Nature here in Limerick, Ireland for this Open Master semi-final.
The ball again out the back of the end zone as these jerseys are soaked through for both sides.
Zone defense, without any surprise, being played by Voltron.
I get it, they're trying to force Iznogood to make as many passes as possible, because in these conditions you feel the mistake is a matter of when, not if. Nguyen pops it off and now gets it back. Trying to get some forward positive momentum to the offense.
Voltron pressuring in. Here's the turnover, miscued by Iznogood.
The Voltron D got what it wanted. Sefton to Garrett in the backfield. Garrett around break. Here's Foster. Back to Garrett. Looking towards the end zone, rolls it around the far side of the pitch. And despite being often known as more of a handler, Simon seems to have a bit of a nose for the end zone for this game. That's his 3rd point as Voltron make it 12-5.
Once again, Iznogood being punished for a miscue about not even midfield into on their end. So we see the last catch by Voltron, granting them their 12th point of the game. It's their 2nd break point of the second half. Voltron in the driver's seat with a 7-point lead, 3 points shy from a ticket to the Open Master Division final.
We've seen Adam Simon's other half, Trudy Phillip, playing with SOS earlier today in the Mixed Masters Division. Bringing their 3 children, including 7-year-old Ripley. I can't imagine playing after having a child 7 weeks ago, but there we go. The teams have rather inexplicably, given the weather, decided to call a timeout and spend it in the middle of the field. But we'll take the opportunity to shelter, and we'll see you very shortly. Welcome back to Sunny Sunny Limerick. Not on your life. The heavens have opened here at the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships. Open Masters semi-final action with Voltron of Seattle currently sitting pretty up 12-5 over France's Iznogood from Noisy-le-Sec. Mario O'Brien trying to make sure the player gets his foot set on the line, although I think she was set inside the line technically. And then was looking for that give-go, but did not have that eye contact and that communication at all. Turnover and turned right back. Müller wants to rip this, but it's right into the teeth of Seattle's defense. Disc turns over again.
Bobble catch by number 21, but still stay in control, David Besta.
Putting that focus to good use. I mean, it is abhorrent out here. Conditions are torrential, and the ultimate trying its best not to get too agricultural. I think maybe there is a stoppage somewhere. I haven't seen a hand signal to indicate what it is. Is that a timeout? Why? You've just had one. It's pouring out there. I mean, it does allow the volunteers to give us a bit more time to get some shelter in the booth. And, you know, maybe the break will be appreciated. I'm not sure the fans on the sidelines are too happy about it. I've enjoyed that multiple people in the YouTube chat have made the same joke about jumping into the shower to watch this in solidarity. Yeah, with clothes on, I know, right? That's what it is like out there. Some of these white Seattle shorts are pretty much see-through at this point. I mean, it is ultimate, right? You've got to love it. It wouldn't be a World Championship event without some sort of historic weather, it seems.
Getting ready to put the disc back into play.
Here's the culprit for the timeout, Pat Bayliss. Bayliss to O'Brien. O'Brien's throw is low, but still reeled in by Rupp. And Rupp to the break side. Well, the timeout had the desired effect of getting it in the end zone. And Laws catches for the score to make it now 13-5, and Voltron 2 points away from the finals. If they wanted to beat that 15-7 win they had over Izno in the pool, they're going the right way about it.
Voltron once again leveraging this timeout just to secure their 13th point of the game. Another break point by the American squad. Still quick little dish. O'Brien with the disc with a low pass, but still well caught by number 6, and quickly pivoting and flicking this disc to earn their 13th point. They are still 8 points ahead of Iznogood.
Shout out to the LTTV camera crew, braving the elements to bring you the game. Wearing the very stylish media jerseys provided by VC, outfitting the world's best players since 1998. Although, given the conditions, I think there's probably a fair few layers of VC kit underneath the coats. Have I mentioned that it's wet?
I'm not sure. Maybe we should, if those are ever doubting, even looking at the screen. It's pouring rain, but oh, it seems that it's slowed down now.
Don't say that, you'll only tempt it. What a pull. Pins it right in the back corner.
Oh.
That is exactly what they've been all about with the pools all game. And that one close in the end zone, gets the turn. I think it's Simon, whether he got a hand on it or whether it was just incomplete, I'm not sure.
We'll see on the replay. Iznogood being trapped in their own end zone. And number 31 just could not handle that pass.
So from the short field, Simon dumps it off and gets the disc back now. Swinging in the backfield. Now goes around to Laws, who caught the previous goal. Might have another one on his mind here. Faking the around, no. Centering to Laws, trying to play the fundamental, systematic dump swing offense. Bestock has a pick downfield. Trying to get the focus in through the rain. Bestock resets to Simon. Chicken goes to Laws with the sliding snag, getting a lot of mud for his troubles. Simon now. Still looking, surveying, goes back to Bestock. This is rhythmic and methodical and patient in the extreme. Izno won't mind this, forcing lots and lots of passes from Voltron, but finally they find the thread through as Simon pings it to Rupp towards the sideline for the snag, and 14-5. Voltron 1 point away from the finals, and given the conditions, the patience shown there by Voltron, remarkable.
Methodical is beautiful in this instant. Voltron just taking their time. They know they have which they have plenty of in this game. They are in the driver's seat, and we'll see on the replay those small games just resetting, waiting for the right opportunity to secure their 14 point, and then number 27 just flicking it to his teammate Simon, feeding number 6.
That is
Roop.
It is indeed for the goal. A lot of players out there wearing gloves, which is not a surprise. WFDF is partnered with Friction Gloves. Provide grip for your game. Be prepared for rain, humidity, cold, wind, and the wrath of the gods, apparently. As Voltron keeping themselves loose during this timeout. We'll take a little break here as well, and this conclusion of the game will continue on the other side.
Thanks for the laugh.
The World Masters Ultimate Club Championships here at the University of Limerick in Ireland. Voltron 2020 have 14, Iznogood have 5, and the weather has a lot of cold, wet faces on the sidelines. Voltron 1 point away from victory here. They will face the winner of Johnny Encore versus Boneyard, which is up next on this field. Rather than brave the elements, Foster goes for the pool that lands quickly and skims its way across the turf. Iznogood will bring it from the sideline through Matthew Müller.
Even with the rolling pool, it seems that Voltron will play a matchup defense instead of his own defense.
You can see how heavy the clothes must be as it's put deep, and despite the bid, Iznogood can't get there. Woodard desperate to keep this game going on. Low towards the sideline. That's a bit of a heavy landing there for Garrett.
So we see on the replay, nice long shot attempt, but just the wind just brought it down, making it out of reach for, I think, which was Bredar.
He's really not far away from that. Feels so cruel that in conditions like this, you wouldn't be rewarded for that effort. O'Brien centres to no one. Iznogood will get it back. Miscommunication, players covering up for one another, I'm not sure. Müller going back to Marcon. Marcon finds Amador, who's thrown the assist for the only break of the game so far for Iznogood as Voltron. My word, what a way to get that disc back. Ridiculous D there from Pat Bayliss. Voltron's offense on what could be the final possession of the game. Foster has it. Foster rips it. Bayliss looking to go coast to coast. Tipped, but if you don't catch your Ds, that's what can happen. Because lurking, sneaking, and picking the pocket is Henry Schneider. And Voltron take the 15-5 win into the final.
So once again, Foster having an impact on the output of this point, and obviously he had a great impact on the output of this overall game. Number 99, probably the MVP for the Voltron squad in this semi-final, while we see the two teams gathering together to shake hands, congratulate one another for what has been an exciting game. So Voltron just repeating it as they've done earlier in this tournament, beating Iznogood, this time by the score of 15-5. They have beat them earlier this week by the score of 15-7. So let's congratulate Voltron for an amazing performance, but also let's send a big cheers to Iznogood for their amazing journey throughout this tournament, which is not over yet because they will fight for the bronze medal later tomorrow or today.
They will indeed. They'll be facing the tomorrow morning, the loser of Johnny Encore versus Boneyard, which is up next on this field. Starts 5 o'clock local time. This broadcast, copyright 2022 of the World Flying Disc Federation, sees Voltron 2020 of Seattle take a place in tomorrow's Masters Open final with a 15-5 win over Iznogood of Noisy-le-Sec, France. On behalf of all our UltiTV crew and the volunteers here at the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships, for Etienne Fournier, I am Benjamin Rees, saying we will see you on the other side. Let's go inside and get warm.
Ulti.tv